What is the chain of command? The chain of command. Okay, so much like the military and the whole affordable housing property management industry, there is also a chain of command who it's not so much about who's in charge, but it kind of is. It's who makes the decisions, but it's also what jobs people function. So I want to say that this video it might offend you. I hope it doesn't. Wow. It might offend you. I hope it doesn't, but basically, this is the chain of command. This is the rank structure in the affordable housing community. So, if you want, we could start at the top, but if you want, we could also start at the bottom. So, ideally, at the most basic level, uh, and when I mean bottom, I want to make this very clear. Hold on a second. I'm going to make this very clear. When I was an assistant manager, the regional manager, the maintenance tech, and the janitorial staff pulled me to the side one time and literally said to my face, I'm at the shit bottom. Carlos, you're at the shit bottom here. You're not better than anybody here. And that's something that honestly stayed with me for a long time. Even to this day, 10 years later, I don't think I'll ever forget that actually, where your colleagues, the people that you work with that you thought you could trust would just literally just tell it to you in your face and laugh at your face and tell you that you're a piece of shit. You're at the shit bottom. And maybe they're trying to help me. Maybe they're trying to give me some fucking motivation or some tough love or something. But I remember that's something that stayed with me for the rest of my life. I mean, not for the rest of my life. Yeah, I'm still living. It stayed with me till now is what I mean to say. So and the reason it stayed with me is because I don't consider, so if you're working at the property level, I don't consider you at the shit bottom. Okay? When you're working at the property level, that means that you're actually on site at the property. It's more, don't think of it that you're at the bottom. Think of it more like you're on the front lines. Okay? You're at the tip of the spear. You're at the front. And if anything bad can happen, it's going to happen to you. So that's why it's sometimes not good to be on the front lines, because something bad can happen to you. But if you've been on the front lines, then you kind of have a better, not you have a better uh, idea of what's really going on. You have a more notion, a more grounded in reality of how exactly this place is run and the timelines required to get things done in these places. So you have your frontline workers, and that will consist of your janitorial staff, your maintenance techs, and your managers, and your assistant managers, and your social workers. So that's your frontline staff. That's the staff that's needed to manage the apartment complex. Like I said, you're not at the bottom, you're on the front lines, okay? Don't think that this one is better and this one's not better. Everybody has a specific job to do. It's like a big football game. We all have a job to do, and we're all playing the game, and we're all doing it together. So you have your frontline workers, you have your janitorial staff, your managers, your assistant managers, and your social workers, and your maintenance techs. Sometimes the maintenance supervisor might be there, sometimes, but not always. So and that's basically the property management staff. Those are in the front lines. Then you have people who are administrative, who mostly just stay in the office. They may be in on the property level, but for the most part, they're mostly just in the office. And their job is different. They're kind of past the whole day-to-day thing. They're more working on month to month. So they live by month to month. How's this property doing month to month? How's that property doing month to month? And they have 10 of them. They might have 10, 15 different properties that they're managing. So they kind of have a different time frame than us. Us, we're more day-to-day, week-by-week type thing because we're managing one property. Them, they're managing multiple apartment complexes, maybe 10, hundreds of miles apart. So you can't focus on day-to-day because you're going to get lost. You got to do month to month. So those are the admins. Those are like the regional managers, the maintenance supervisors, the social worker managers. Compliance, that's another one. Sometimes they're on the front lines, but very rarely. The place has to be very fucked up to have a compliance there on the front lines. But compliance, that's another one of the admins. They're mostly in the office, so that's like those are like the people on base. Okay, those are the people who are in the operational base, the headquarters. Okay, front lines is like you're in an outpost. Base people is the regional managers, the compliance people, the maintenance supervisors, the maintenance lead. They call the maintenance lead, maintenance supervisor, regional. Sometimes maybe some senior managers they'll have there, but not really. Senior managers mostly frontline. And then they got like, receptionists, accounting, that's also like in the headquarters, so those people operate there. Development, well, actually that's a little bit that's a little bit different. So accounting, services, all the people who operate in the corporate office, those are the ones who are like in the headquarters basically. Then finally there's people like in the like for example like people like in the White House, or people like in the very like government Pentagon type thing, and those would be your CEOs, your CFOs, your VPs, your directors. Well, director is kind of like, no, director is more like on the head, on the higher Pentagon area type thing. So yeah, that's how I break it down for you. Is that there's people who operate very far from the property, and there's people who operate like on the property, on the front lines. Nobody's better. It's just a different job. Ideally, I would say you'd want to start off in the corporate area, because then you can choose to go up. Sorry, didn't mean to say up. You can choose to go something different, whether that's the CFO side, the development side, or you can go to the property side and work in maintenance, work in managerial, work in resident services. I'm not saying that if you don't start at the property level, you can't move your way up. And of course, if you start, like in the development side, why, you can move your way, can you move your way down too, if you want. Like I said, I say up and down, but really it's not. Okay, just bear with me on that one. It's really not up and down. They're all different jobs, but they're all required to make this whole affordable housing industry run. So like I said, there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of departments, and there's a lot of people working on it. So it has to operate in a certain way, and you have to have good leadership. And I trust the leadership. I really do. I trust the leadership that we have in the affordable housing community. I'm not saying they're all great, but we got some pretty good people on there. And ideally, the good thing about it is that we want to help people. We want to foster communities where people feel welcome, where people feel heard. We want to foster safe communities. We want to provide good quality, affordable housing of quality to those in need, help people thrive, not just survive. So there's a lot of people who have that mindset in all the departments that I'm talking about. So that's why this industry is so great, because you have a bunch of people coming together with that one common goal, is to give back to the community, and to give back to to people who might not be able to find housing on their own. So those are basically the rank structures and the different departments. I might be missing a few. I can go into more depth later, but that'll give you a basic idea. Oh, also there's the inspectors and stuff. Like I said, I'll go into more depth. They're over there.